Okay, this is the mission 2 or project or mission overview, I guess it is. And so let's start very quickly at the checklist and study guide and see what it is that we're going to be covering in this mission. And so you can see the main topics, and we'll be looking at making decisions more closely. Those are the if, else statement blocks. We'll look at the Boolean expressions that go into those. We'll look at 3 different kinds of loops. We'll look at for loops, while loops, and do while loops. We will also take a look at how we can work with strings, specifically formatting those. And also we'll discuss validation. So how is it that we make sure that when a user gives us some input that it is the correct input? And as we scroll down here, you'll see that there is a learn block. And remember, those are not there. You don't have to use all of those. Those are there as resources for you to learn the material. There is a practice block. Those are the mind tap exercises that you do uh, online. And then there are also 2 chapter quizzes. So these are the chapters right out of the textbooks, making decisions and looping. And if we come down here, you'll see there's a set of keywords, some concepts that I want to make sure that you know, and then a skills block that represents the skills that you'll need to demonstrate uh, this during this mission. So if we go back, you'll see there are making decisions resources, looping resources, and working with strings resources. And here's our mission block. And then also I have down here as a reminder mission tasks. These are just links. This link this link links right off to the practice modules where all the MindTap activities are, and this link is the knowledge module where all the Moodle questions are. So let's take a look at the actual example application and see how that works. So you can see it's got an opening screen. Press any key to continue. It says, what is your name? I'll put in Fred. It says, are you interested in getting a loan, Fred? No, I'm not interested in a loan. And it goes off. It gives me a little bit of an acknowledgement. It says, oh, sorry, you're not interested in our program. But off to our closing screen, and we're out. So we do always have, it's always nice to have kind of a bailout so that when somebody enters an application, if by chance they really didn't mean to enter that application, they can kind of leave it. That's just something that I do. All right, so let's go through the application now and see how it works. So if I press this, and we'll enter Fred again, and yes, I'm interested in getting a loan. What is your bank? We use TBA, and I have 4 possible loans types, and the loan type kind of determines the interest rate. So I'm going to put home in here, and it says, please tell me the amount of the loan, enter the loan amount. So hopefully you've noticed that as we kind of step through this is that every time I query the user for some new information, it kind of feels like I'm jumping to a new screen. And I'll show that to you in the code. Really, the key to that is using that console.clear command that basically resets the screen. And by resetting it, what we mean is that it kind of resets the background and the foreground and puts the cursor in the upper left-hand corner. Okay, so this is a home loan. Let me see. Let's borrow $100,000. And how long will I borrow? Let's go for 15 years. And it says loan for Fred. I have a home loan. It's 3.5%. My interest or my principal is $100,000. My years are 15. My monthly payments work out to $714.88. And now if I press the key one more time, you'll see I actually have it built. I have it build out an amortization table. If you're not familiar with an amortization table, basically what it amounts to is that, these are all the months. So I said 15. Oops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go that fast. So I said 15 years, and so that would be 180 months. And it looks like I'm starting with month 0. I think that's a bug. I got to fix that at some point. So that should probably start with month 1. Current balance is our starting balance. We have our payment. The payment is divided up into interest and principal, so the sum of these two is 714.88. And what ends up happening is the principal, it gets knocked off of the balance. So basically, if I take $100,000, I subtract 423, I get 99,576, and then the new balance is 99,576 the next month. And we kind of repeat that process. The interesting thing to note is that since we have less of a balance, our interest goes down. And since our interest goes down, our principal goes up. So as we progress along a loan here, you'll see that by the time we get down here to the second to the last payment, we only have $1,400 left or so. My interest on that is only $4 and some change. The vast majority of my payment is going towards the principal. Okay, so that's how loans get paid off. Press any key to continue. I'm off to my closing screen, and that is the application. So in terms of what it is that I'm looking for you to do in this is, oops, I'm sorry, I went to this guy right here. No, did I close? I think I apologize. Let's go back to the instructions. Didn't realize I'd closed that. Maybe I didn't. Okay, so what I'm looking for you to do is to write your own application. We call it the expert system. And you can choose to do anything that you like. You can see here I've got some suggestions. So the cost of flooring of 2 rooms. And so I've given you some ideas about what the user input should be. You'd have width, length, and the cost of the flooring per square foot. And the output would be the total cost of flooring for both rooms. Feel free to expand on that. Oftentimes I have students do more than 2 rooms, but if you're going to do this, probably the minimum would be 2 rooms. Cost of buying 2 items, that's going to look very, very similar. Future balance of a savings account, that's going to look a lot like what I created, and the only difference is it's going to kind of go the other way. Hopefully your principal is going to increase. Time a person's been alive, time until retirement. So, both of these are going to take the birth date and probably some other inputs, or at least make some assumptions. Developer's choice, completely up to you. Decide what you want to do. Now, if you're going to do something besides these suggestions, I would ask you to just shoot me off a quick email and talk to me about your suggestions, or talk to me about your idea, and I will make some suggestions as to how difficult I think it may be or may not be, and kind of steer you in the right direction. So that is mission 2 in a nutshell. As always, get with me if you have any questions. Have a good day.